Please, I've left Lagos and I have abandoned my marriage. Please help me say to everyone you can reach that a bad marriage can ruin one's life. There is no point patching it up. It reduces self-esteem. This is a chat. This is a WhatsApp message. It deprives one of the very essence of life, deprives one of peace of mind. I'm so glad I left. It climaxed when she, the pronoun now, poured chili pepper mixed with water in my eyes over an argument. I was crawling on the floor. She was telling, it's good for me. And next time, I won't dare stress her again. I grabbed her wrapper to wipe my face when she poured the stuff in my face. But she snatched it away from me, leaving me with pains and tears. She did all that in front of my children. It was a trauma. I'm so glad I left. And then one woman said, my husband is a pastor. He slept with 2 of my friends. And I decided to abuse him as a form of revenge. Another one said, my husband has not slept with me for more than 3 times in our 24 years of marriage.
Are you single or you are married? Call in, because this word is going to transform your relationship with your spouse. Listen and be blessed.
We have 2 children. I'm abusing him because I am in pain. So these are the kind of things. So we'll kick off tonight, and I'm going to use the mic to you. Women abusing men. Is it an effect? Because I don't think there is any justification for abuse. And then one man said when he went to the police station because he did not want to kill his wife, he went to the police station to report in Nigeria. Let me not talk about the States. And the policemen were laughing at him and speaking in Jane. Your wife, they beat you, you know. Ooh. And a lot like that. So please, I yield the mic to you, Pastor K.
Wow. Once more, thank you again, Mama, for putting this together and for having me. And I want to greet all the global audience and community from everywhere in the world. Thank you guys for joining. The issue of abuse, like Mama said, I think a movement has been battered, and I pray it is sustained. And in fact, for me, I would actually like for people to start the work from even before we get married, because most times we're trying to deal with it in marriage, and anybody that is a marriage counselor knows that it's not easy to leave. You know, I know a lot of people are saying leave the marriage, but we have all been in this thing for a bit. It's never easy to leave. It's never as easy as it sounds. And you know, even many people that are saying people should leave their marriages, many of them have stayed in abusive marriages themselves and have not left. You know, so I think we thank God the movement is being battered, and I believe that we should start paying attention to the things before the marriage. Now, to speak specifically, you know, into this situation, definitely men also get abused. And in all fairness, all of us have just focused more on women being abused. In all fairness, you know, maybe because women are generally, you know, perceived as the weaker vessels. Women, you know, are perceived as, you know, being more, a bit softer, a bit milder, a bit more in need for protection. So everybody has focused on, you know, abuse when women are on the receiving end, when women are the victims. But the truth is that there are a lot of men dealing with abusive wives. A lot of men are being abused. And Mama, like the story you shared, the reason why we don't hear it is because most men will be ashamed to talk about it. Most men are going to be ashamed to talk about it because who will you tell? Who will you tell? You know, people will laugh at you. That's number one. And number two, it's not going to be so easy for people to believe you anyway. So most men are rather going to deal with it quietly, you know, than come outright and say, I am being abused by my wife. For us as counselors, I've dealt with a lot of cases where, you know, police have gotten involved and arrested the women. And these are the women that were the abusers. And they were arrested. And they were, that's in developed countries, you know. They were arrested and locked up and they slept in the police cell, you know, overnight or sometimes for days because the women were the abusers. The women were the abusers. And thank God for those kind of countries, you know, where, you know, they are not like the story you shared, Mama, of the man that told police and police were laughing at him. Those countries will take it seriously no matter the gender. You know, and these women were arrested. These women were serious abusers. And we've also heard of cases where men died from abuse. It's not just women that die from abuse. We've seen cases where a woman actually killed, you know, a man because of abuse. So yes, abuse happens both ways. Definitely it's a bit more from the male side. Yes, it is. But it does happen from the female side in terms of women being the attackers or the abusers. It does happen, but definitely not as much. At least physical abuse, not as much. You know, I think it's because generally men are stronger physically, so it's not common to see a woman that will physically abuse a man. But if you are looking at abuse on a broader perspective, which covers a broader spectrum of things, women also abuse emotionally. Women abuse emotionally. Women abuse in terms of accusations, false accusations, because you know a woman, if she accuses you, people will first find you guilty before they even investigate. They will find you guilty before they. We saw from the Bible days the story of Joseph. He was accused of rape in a case where he was, but nobody's going to, you know, look into the case seriously. They'll just think this woman will not just lie on you, you know. But again, there are too many stories of women using that power to put men in trouble, to put men in jail. This has been from Bible times to even recent times to even olden times. Women have used accusations, they've used emotional abuse, they've used sexual abuse, you know, withholding sex and things like that. They've used verbal abuse. That one comes a bit natural to most women because they are very prolific with their mouths. They are good with their mouths. They're good with words, you know. So abuse happens on both sides, and men are also being abused. Men are being abused. I would say I would rather be on the bad side of a man than on the bad side of a woman. A woman is loaded. If women gather and want, you know, to bring you down, it's difficult to survive it. Women are, you know, are something else. So we need to start to protect men. We need to create some form of level playing field where men can find it comfortable to report abuse, to speak up when they are being abused, because abuse has a way of spreading, whether it's coming from the man or the woman. When abuse is going on in the home, it will always impact the children, just like the case you mentioned where they were pouring pepper and all that, and it was in front of the kids. These things are going to affect those children. So we have to come against abuse in any shape or form. I want to sympathize with all the men that have faced abuse or are facing abuse. We want to apologize for not believing you. We want to apologize for not even making room for you to speak, because everybody feels there are more pressing problems than talking about a man that is being beaten by his wife. They'll just feel, hey, go home and defend yourself. Go home and be a man. You know, we'll use the term be a man. Meanwhile, this guy is being abused either emotionally, he's being abused verbally. There are men that are being made to cry every night. There are men that are being made to sleep on the couch, sleep outside their house. You know, there are men that are being brought to tears, torn to shreds. You know, and we deal with these cases every day. There are men that are being slapped, being hit, you know, poured oil on, you know, hit with frying pan, different kinds of things because of abuse. So we really need to deal with it. We need to look at it. We need to give men a level playing field. We need to encourage men to speak up, because all abuse is bad. All abuse is bad. So we need to speak up for the men and acknowledge that men also get abused. Men definitely get abused.